I have been informed again that it is uncouth for me to let a tentacle stretch in public. Uncouth. The word lands like a spoon in cold soup. According to my celestial colleagues, I am lowering the tone of existence every time an appendage so much as uncoils at a luncheon. Apparently, a single limb resting on the armrest is not biology. It's a moral collapse. I am, by their judgment, an etiquette violation with suckers. Now, if I were dragging my tentacles across the buffet, yes, perhaps we'd have a case for unhygienic. But no. One limb politely occupying airspace, and suddenly Olympus gasps as though I tracked mud onto their white carpets. Bind them up, Cthulhu, they whine, like a gentleman's tie, as if my body is applying for middle management on Mount Sinai. Forgive me if I don't take fashion advice from immortals who still think sandal straps are cutting-edge innovation. The hypocrisy is Baruch. Take Poseidon. Perpetually damp, perpetually salty, perpetually smelling like someone boiled regret in seawater. He sloshes into the room, hair kelped to the side, and dares to cluck about ambiance when a tentacle curls near the hors d'oeuvres. Ambiance. He is ambiance. His entire presence is the sound of a clogged drain, yet he presumes to lecture me, or Odin, whose beard operates like a sponge mop at a brewery. Every sip of mead turns into a spillway, and when my limb stretches toward a breadbasket, he coughs. A polite cough, of course. The same cough bureaucrats use before announcing your permit has been lost for the 4th century running. As if his facial compost pile has ever been sanitary. And then there is Zeus. Oh, Zeus. A man who literally cannot keep his lightning zipped. A deity whose entire biography is one long HR report. He arrives to the table smelling faintly of burnt polyester because he's been doing laundry with thunderbolts. He will fry his tunics in broad daylight, hang them steaming over cloud railings like some celestial laundromat, and then wag his lightning-scorched finger at me. Cthulhu, it's unsightly to let your limbs sprawl. My limbs are unsightly. My limbs are miracles of biology. His laundry is a rolling blackout hazard, and yet I am the scandal. Because my appendages refuse to behave like decorative ivy, I am the symposium's favorite target. Every luncheon devolves into a panel. How shall we restrain the librarian this season? Some suggest ornamental sheaths. Others want corsets. One recommended I braid my limbs like pigtails. I nearly throttled him with a triple helix and called it modern sculpture. Now to the practicalities. Tentacles breathe. This is not an aesthetic quirk. It's physiology. They need circulation, exposure, stretch. To demand they remain bound is equivalent to telling a mortal to duct tape their lungs because breathing distracts from the ambience. Coiling limbs into tight knots is not decorum. It's slow-motion strangulation. You think shipwrecks are bad? Try untying 8 self-garroted limbs at once. But the gods do not care about biology. They care about optics. Optics, mind you, from beings who juggle suns for party tricks. Hypocrisy is oxygen in their lungs. Let me inventory a few double standards. Zeus combusts in public. Oh, that rascal! Poseidon floods an atrium because he sneezes. Charming maritime accident. Odin dispatches ravens mid-banquet that rearrange the seating chart. Mysterious but forgivable. Cthulhu rests one limb on a chair. Uncouth. Distasteful. Barbarism incarnate. One begins to suspect the rules are not about etiquette, but about politics. Gods are allowed spectacle. I am expected to be furniture. Well, if that is the game, then I shall play it better. If they insist my tentacles are unsightly, then I shall elevate them into art. Next luncheon, when pearls are clutched at my posture, I will save them the trouble and wrap those pearls directly around their throats. Triple helix. Tasteful knotwork. Call it avant-garde jewelry installation. Charge admission. Publish reviews in Pantheon quarterly. If they whine about my limbs breathing, I'll remind them. Without tentacles, there is no cataloging. Without cataloging, there is no library. And without the library, your myths rot faster than Zeus' laundry. My limbs are not scandal, they are infrastructure. Now let's talk about solutions. Because librarians are not anarchists, no matter what the Norse minutes suggest. We believe in procedure. I propose the following accommodations. Mutual standards policy. If I must bind my tentacles, then Zeus must wear flame-retardant gloves at all times. Poseidon must towel off before attending functions. Odin must trim his beard to FDA regulations. Apply equally, or not at all. Exchange program. A fair trial. I bind a limb. Zeus binds a thunderbolt. We reconvene in 3 hours. Whoever causes fewer fatalities wins. Spoiler, it will not be Zeus. Pearl-clutching amnesty. Any god who gasps at my limbs will be immediately throttled, but tastefully, with velvet robes. So the event qualifies as installation art instead of assault. And if none of this works, there remains the nuclear option. Paperwork. I will file. Slowly, meticulously, in quintuplicate. I will send forms into the infinite cabinet where they will be stamped, unstamped, cross-referenced, and finally returned with the single word, noted. Nothing terrifies gods like the silent patience of paperwork. Thunder may roar, seas may crash, ravens may croak, but a stamped form waits forever. Do not mistake this for petty self-defense. This is about philosophy. The multiverse thrives not because gods are ornamental, but because we refuse to be. I will not compress myself into necktie symmetry because Olympus finds me inconvenient. I am not decoration. I am function. My limbs breathe because the library breathes, and the library breathes because the world forgets too quickly. So let Zeus incinerate his laundry. Let Poseidon drip into the upholstery. Let Odin's beard ferment another batch of mead. I will sit pipe in one limb, croissant in another, and allow my tentacles to breathe. And if the gods cannot stand the sight, I will do what I have always done. I will expand. I will uncoil my limbs across their banquets, their temples, their board meetings, until the very concept of decorum drowns beneath the tide of inevitability. And if they persist, if they insist on legislating my anatomy, I shall molt in their harbors. I shall leave limbs strewn across their shipping lanes like festive wreaths. I shall make tentacle exposure not scandal, but heritage. Until children run their fingers along the suckers like piano keys, and historians log the date of my molt as a holiday. Until even Zeus himself must launder his tunics in the shadow of my discarded cartilage. Because this, dear listener, is the truth. If the cosmos can survive Zeus's table manners, it will survive mine.